Worried about gout? Check out Ural, the effective urinary alkalinizer. Ural, neutralize your uric acid problem now.
This is KiniNews and I'm your host Prasad. The Securities Commission statement first saying the evidence against Azam Baki was inconclusive, only to release another statement to say he did not breach the law, has raised suspicion among opposition MPs. Another day passes and we're just left with more questions. Puchong MP Gobind Singh has questioned whether the Cabinet had instructed the Securities Commission to clear MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki of wrongdoing. Gobind raised the issue in Parliament today after the SC announced that there was no breach of Section 25(4) of the Securities Industry Act with relation to Azam's trading account.
Saya nak tanya di sini, adakah Kabinet semalam memberi arahan kepada SC untuk mengeluarkan kenyataan kedua? Ini perkara yang sangat penting kerana kalau benar dan Perdana Menteri kena ambil tanggungjawab berkenaan dengan hal ini. Kalau benar ianya bermaksud bahawa ada interference di dalam siasatan atau keputusan yang dibuat.
In a statement yesterday, the SC said it found that Azam had control over his own trading account. This appears to contradict Azam's explanation that he allowed his brother, Nasir Baki, to purchase shares using his trading account. It was also reported yesterday that Minister in the Prime Minister's Department in charge of Parliament and Law, Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, said the Cabinet had discussed at length the pros and cons related to Azam's share ownership.
SC dalam surat yang pertama, mereka kata tiada keputusan konklusif. Tiada keputusan konklusif maknanya tak tahu ada pelanggaran atau tidak. Kemudian beberapa jam kemudian, the next day, selepas cabinet meeting, kenyataan keluar. Tidak bersalah. Apa ini? Apa kerajaan ini? Perdana Menteri yang lemah, langsung tidak ada pendirian, tegas. Minta untuk satu siasatan.
Despite opposition MPs raising questions about Azam Baki, there was no room for it during the special sitting today. And you're about to hear the Speaker explain why. Day 1 Rakyat Speaker Azhar Azizan Harun today rejected emergency motions submitted by two MPs to debate the shareholding controversy involving MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki. This took place during the parliamentary special sitting to debate last month's flash floods that devastated parts of the country. Azhar said that unlike an ordinary sitting, the agenda of the special sitting is at the absolute discretion of Prime Minister Ismail Yaakob.
Bahawa sidang kelas ini dipanggil oleh Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri di bawah kuasa mutlak Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri di dalam aturan 11/3 Peraturan Majlis Mesyuarat.
Azhar said therefore he does not have the power to accept the motions.
Sehingga hari ini saya tidak mempunyai apa-apa notis daripada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri mengenai usul tersebut. Maka saya anggap bahawa usul itu tidak akan dimasukkan di dalam aturan urusan mesyuarat pada hari ini.
Salahuddin Ayub and Ngako Meng submitted emergency motions requesting that the sitting also debate the ongoing controversy involving the MACC chief. Acknowledging the rejection, Salahuddin suggested that there was no harm in allocating an additional hour to debate the MACC issue, as the Prime Minister was already present in the House and could provide clarification.
PM should say something.
Yang Amat tidak berniat untuk mengatakan apa-apa.
Ismail Sabri did not respond to Salahuddin. With the floods the only thing on the agenda during the special sitting, the Prime Minister blamed Selangor for the poor disaster response there. He said even Pahang, which was worst hit, performed better. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob today blamed the state and district administrations in Selangor over the poor disaster response in December last year.
Saya tekankan di sini bahawa banjir di Selangor merupakan suatu kejadian yang luar biasa dan berikutan kelemahan yang telah dikenal pasti di peringkat negeri dan daerah menyebabkan saya terpaksa campur tangan. Umum mengetahui pada tempoh yang sama terdapat beberapa negeri lain yang turut dilanda banjir, malah ada negeri yang dilanda banjir pada skala yang lebih buruk seperti negeri Pahang. Namun disebabkan jentera pengurusan bencana di peringkat negeri dan daerah adalah teratur dan bersedia, bencana ini dapat dikendalikan dengan baik walaupun terdapat beberapa cabaran.
Ismail Sabri also revealed that preparations for the floods had been made in series of meetings as early as September.
MACC Malaysia telah mengeluarkan sebanyak 6 kali amaran cuaca signifikan yang boleh mengakibatkan hujan lebat. Namun, amaran cuaca ini tidak diendahkan oleh setengah pihak yang terlibat secara langsung dalam pengurusan bencana kerana andaian, iaitu hanya negeri-negeri di pantai timur semenanjung Malaysia yang akan terjejas akibat banjir yang dibawa oleh hujan lebat berterusan akibat luruan monsun.
The Prime Minister said he was aware of the critical situation in Selangor since the night of the floods on December 18th and had rushed to the National Disaster Command Centre to learn the situation on the ground.
Bermula pada petang Sabtu 18 Disember 2021, PDRM, JBPM, ATM dan APN sebenarnya telah pun menggerakkan pasukan masing-masing bagi memindahkan mangsa. Namun, menghadapi kesukaran kerana suasana yang semakin gelap dan terdapat ramai mangsa yang masih enggan meninggalkan kediaman mereka ketika itu. Kejadian banjir yang berlaku ini...
Perdana Menteri salahkan mangsa sekarang.
Tak, kita tak
baguslah tu.
Ini cerita yang sebenar.
Zuraida Kamarudin has gone viral for saying orangutans are more likely to kill humans. Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister Zuraida Kamarudin's speech defending the Malaysian palm oil industry has gone viral. Her speech included her assertion that they were not harming the orangutan population and primates were more likely to kill humans than the other way around. The speech took place on January 5th, but the excerpt began circulating on TikTok recently. It was subsequently shared by former Pandan MP Rafizi Ramli. In the excerpt, Zuraida said she visited Mecca recently and learned that the school books in Arab countries had put an unflattering light on the palm oil industry. Zuraida said she was told by the ambassador there that schools in Arab countries were critical of palm oil because the industry kills orangutans. She said she told him that in Malaysia, if she saw an orangutan, the orangutan would kill her first. Zuraida maintained that the Department of Wildlife and National Parks, Perhilitan, have proper procedures in handling orangutans. She also said there is a procedure in which the animal can be transferred to the zoo after being rendered unconscious instead. Zuraida added that information from Perhilitan should be used to counter pressure from the UK, EU and the US. She also announced that books on palm oil would be promoted in Malaysian schools. Now we have a message from our sponsor. When we're back, we tell you why Anwar Ibrahim is eager to speak to the Prime Minister.
Pening, tangan dan kaki kebas, letih. Ini mungkin tanda peredaran darah kurang baik. Cubalah Thomson Activated Ginkgo dengan teknologi aktivasi dari Jepun yang menghancurkan ginkgo biloba dan melekat pada dinding usus untuk penyerapan lebih baik bagi membantu memperbaiki peredaran darah. Kawalan kualiti memastikan ia mudah larut dengan daun muda ginkgo dari Jepun. Untuk peredaran darah yang lebih baik, cubalah Thomson Activated Ginkgo. Ini adalah Medifax untuk Thomson.
Day 1 Rakyat was action-packed today, and so was the situation outside Parliament, with two separate demonstrations. Opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim will meet Prime Minister Ismail Yaakob to discuss issues raised by demonstrators outside Parliament this morning. The demonstrations were held by PKR Youth and Muda separately on the controversy surrounding MACC Chief Azam Baki and the climate crisis respectively. Anwar received the memorandum from both groups. PKR Youth's top demands were for the immediate suspension of Azam Baki as MACC chief and for a Royal Commission of Inquiry to be set up to conduct a thorough investigation on Azam. Over 50 PKR Youth members in blue t-shirts joined the demonstration. Meanwhile, Muda demanded a Parliamentary Select Committee on Climate Disaster and Environment to be set up to discuss climate crisis issues thoroughly. Muda also urged for the passing and immediate implementation of the Climate Change Act to prove that the government is serious in its commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and achieve carbon neutrality. Over 40 Muda Party members took part in the second demonstration outside Parliament. Malaysian politics is home to the Katak, and soon they may be pushed to extinction. De facto Law Minister Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar has revealed that an anti-hopping law will be tabled by the government during next month's Parliament session. A bipartisan technical committee has also been set up to draw up the bill. The decision was made after a meeting between the Transformation and Political Stability Steering Committee members yesterday. Comprising members from Putrajaya and Pakatan Harapan, the committee was set up after the government and opposition parties signed a Memorandum of Understanding in September last year. The next Day 1 Rakyat session will be held for 16 days from February 28th to March 24th. Malaysia Kini has learned that 8 technical committee members for the anti-hopping bill have yet to be appointed. However, Wan Junaidi said the technical committee will meet next week over the details of the proposed policy and legal framework. Political defections have long plagued the country's politics. Party hopping was involved in the Sheraton Move political coup in February 2020, which saw the fall of the Pakatan Harapan government. The cabinet has decided that motorists should have the choice not to use the RFID system if they don't want to. Road users in Malaysia must be given the option of using either the RFID system, touch and go, or smart tag at toll gates. This is according to Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob. He said this was decided by the cabinet in its meeting yesterday. The cabinet was of the view that road users must be given a choice, just like how it was practiced when touch and go was introduced in its early years and cash payments was still allowed to continue. Several toll plazas in the Klang Valley reportedly experienced traffic congestion, especially on Monday, after the RFID system failed to function smoothly. Ismail Sabri said the RFID, which was introduced to speed up travelling time, was a good suggestion, but motorists must also be given an option, since the RFID was a pioneer project and would still need time to be fine-tuned. Ismail Sabri said the highway concessionaires should retain the lanes for touch-and-go and smart tag users. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.